Use the referral link in the description to g2a.com for all of your Xbox codes, PlayStation codes and video games, and be sure to use the code CHES at checkout to get yourself 3% cash back. Hey guys, welcome to episode 1 of season 3 here at Newcastle after ridiculously close end to season 2. If you missed yesterday's episode, you definitely need to see that because my word, we've not had such a close and nail-biting end to a season, I think, ever on career mode on FIFA. But today we'll be starting season 3. I'm going to make a change to the way that I do pre-season. Rather than play all of the pre-season games as I normally would over the course of 2 or 3 episodes to get your feedback for transfers, I'm going to simulate my way through pre-season up until the first game against Tottenham. I might go all the way to Tottenham today. I might hold off a little bit before, but I will only be simulating the pre-season games today and we won't be playing any games. I want to get your feedback with regards to transfers and see how much money we can raise between now and then. We have a £76.5 million budget available to us currently, with £163,000 available there wage-wise. There is, however, the possibility of adding almost £9 million to that if we win this pre-season tournament. And I'm not sure if we might get a little bit of a boost to our finances from the money we had left over at the end of last season. And as of yet, to advance any further and to receive any emails from the board, I will go... Oh, great. Well, the first email I get is an injury to a player, which is not good news. Presumably that's an international player, or a player that's away on international duty at Euro 2020. But we'll have a look at the board objectives as well in a moment. We are in European football this season. There you go, transfer budget increase. That's exactly the email we were hoping to receive. Philip Max is out for 7 days, that's fine. We've had a transfer offer in for Freddie Woodman of £9 million. One thing I intended to do in the last episode, and actually it slipped my mind, was show you the youth players we've got. Most importantly, the idea of Luca Van Dam. I was open to the idea of moving on, and I still need your feedback on this, either Dubravka and Freddie Woodman to bring in a marquee goalkeeper and then call up perhaps Luca Van Dam. He's only 6'1", but he's 65 rated currently. I could train him, of course, as we did with Freddie Woodman, and it would be a cheap alternative to a backup goalkeeper. Now he's 6'1". I'm not sure how tall Freddie Woodman is off the top of my head. I will quickly check to see if it's going to be a massive alteration. He is 6'2". So even before getting your feedback on goalkeepers, the fact that I've received an immediate offer for Woodman, I'm definitely... Oh, it's a big one as well. He's valued at 6.5. I'm tempted just to accept that straight off. I'll ask for 11 and see if they'll negotiate, but I might be being a little bit... I might be asking a little bit too much here. Although, to be fair, he's only 23. So if they're willing to negotiate slightly, 9.5. I'm just going to accept that. £9.5 million is great. We'll accept that. We'll call up the youngster if and when that transfer goes through. We've also had a... Oh, okay. I initially there thought they'd added £45 million to my already transfer budget of 80 million, but they haven't. My initial budget would have been then around about £35 million, and what they've done is boosted my budget by 45 million to the 80-ish that we have now. For a minute there, I remind you that with less important financial board expectations, more funds will be made available each season from each player, so let's keep an eye on. Okay, I thought for a minute I'd had another £45 million added to this budget. I haven't. But we do have a very sizable budget available to us here right now. And I do have 3 players on the transfer list. Those being Jonjo Shelvey, Eduardo Salvio and Iosi Perez. Now Perez and Shelvey I'm certain that I would like to sell and replace. Salvio I'm as of yet unsure of. I'm going to wait for your feedback. Because he had a tremendous season last year. But his stats have started to drop. Which is a very FIFA thing to happen. But these things happen and you have to react. So with regards our objectives this year, the long-term youth development criteria has carried over from last year into this. So we have 14 eligible players to do. That's only of medium priority though. Again, they want me to... That hasn't updated from last season. So it still counts the £22 million shirt sales. I mean, if that's it's gonna stay the same, then great. We've already done it. I would expect that to update at some point though. They want me to finish the first season or first window with 44 million profit. Again, that's not going to happen. And finish the season with £17.6 million of unspent allocated funds, which we could do. We would have achieved that had that been an option last year. With regards to domestic success, they now want a top 4 finish rather than just qualifying for the Europa League. Again, they would like quarterfinals in the FA Cup. And in my first year in European competition, they would like me to reach the final of the Europa League, which I believe is a little bit ambitious. Our Europa League group hasn't yet been drawn, so I'm not sure who we have. But as I mentioned, I will be simulating these pre-season tournament games, so we're not going to be playing anything today. I've had an offer in for DeAndre Yedlin. Now, he would like to leave. I would like to keep him and Ben Chilwell at the club. He and Chilwell would both like to leave. Effectively, my 2 backup wing-backs would like to leave. However, I don't think that's something I want to do. I would like to keep them at the club and, fingers crossed, just be able to improve their morale with the added football of European competition now as well. So, of course, we will be able to play them in Europe, so we'll have a minimum of an extra 6 games in the first half of the season, if not more, and hopefully we can go further in cup competitions as well. So we haven't excelled at all in the Carabao Cup nor the FA Cup at any point in this save. In fact, did we get to this? We might have gotten to the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup in this save. I can't quite remember off the top of my head. That might well have been the Tottenham save we did earlier in the year. We get 2-0 win here against Schalke, which is good. Now, the main areas I'm looking to improve at, that I'm looking for your feedback from, as we mentioned, are centre forward / striker and centre mid. And I would be open to selling Eduardo Salvio if you'd like him to be sold. Roma have offered for Chilwell. I am going to reject that offer. Schalke have offered for Maximilian Philip. I'm going to reject that offer. Maximilian Philip and Ante Rebic will stay. It's Iosi Perez I'd like to move on. Manchester United have offered me 18.2 when he's valued at 15.5. I would like to maximise the potential funds that I can raise from a deal with Iosi Perez, so I will ask for 26. I might be being too ambitious if it turns out that it is. Turns out that it's not. £26 million, Manchester United will match. Right then. Well, that's good news. We did wingers last time, so let's do the centre mids this time around. Still training the youngsters, of course, trying to improve them overall and on their individual stats as they continue to try and reach their maximum potential. The youngsters I've got still in the... It's a big offer for Salvio. Even if I weren't already considering selling him, I would probably have negotiated this anyway. If I could get over 35 million for a 29-year-old, I can't say no to that. I cannot possibly. For an 81 rated 29-year-old player, I can't say no to £36 million. Freddie Woodman is gone. Sold. Freddie Woodman out. So, as such, we will then call up the youngster from the youth setup and begin to train him. I'll add him into one of the training presets. Luca Van Dam is promoted to the youth side. I do have another goalkeeper here who's 6'2", Hugo Lefevre? I don't know how to pronounce his name, to be honest. Lefevre, I presume, is how you pronounce it. He's 6'2", slightly taller, very similar in stats, actually. Let me call them both up and compare them, and then we might let one go. Elliot Phillips is continuing to grow in the youth setup, so that's good. 62 rated for him now. 62 rated for Declan Jackson too. In fact, I probably am going to add him into the training modules now. Now that the other two are in their mid-70s. Diogo Neves looks pretty decent too. 88 to 94 potential for him now, and his physicals already look pretty handy. 78 strength at 15 years of age is pretty remarkable. His technicals, though, do need to grow. Simone Bruno, right mid, 85 to 94 is his potential. Technically, he looks pretty decent already at this stage at 16. It's his physicals that could really do with some growth. Felipe Silveira, I called up at the end of last year and I wasn't sure whether he was going to be any good. 5'11" for a centre-back is quite small. 82 to 94 is his potential. I want to see how he grows. And if that potential window narrows slightly. If it narrows towards the upper end, then great. If it narrows towards the bottom end, then we might consider letting him go. Brandon Cook, however, 84 to 90. Certainly going to monitor his growth and see how he progresses. But the two goalkeepers there have accepted their contracts. Let's now compare them and see which one we would prioritise over the other. And in fact, I'll be able to do that better via this screen here. So let me go down. Lefebvre and Van Dam. So, reactions-wise, they're the same. Jumping is in Lefebvre's favour. Vision is in Lefebvre's favour. Strength is in Lefebvre's favour. The others are minimal and or not really influential with regards to their position. Lefebvre 1 inch taller. They are both traditional goalkeepers, one right-footed, one left-footed, although Lefebvre has an extra star with regards to his weak foot. On the most important stats, +1 for Van Dam on diving, +6 for Lefebvre on handling. Kicking is in Van Dam's favour, but kicking is not necessarily important for me. Reflexes are in Lefebvre's favour. Positioning is in Van Dam's, but that could be easily boosted via training. Isn't as much of an issue. I'm leaning towards Lefebvre there, mainly because of the higher reflexes and handling than Van Dam. You'll have to let me know in the comment section which youth goalkeeper you think I should keep and which you think I should let go, and I will act on that feedback in the next episode. So we shall go now and simulate this game against Leverkusen. We'll see how we get on in this one. Again, opportunity to raise up to £9 million from this pre-season tournament, and by the end of today's episode, when we get as far as, or nearing that game against Tottenham, basically once I know how much money I've got to spend, then I'll be able to end the episode and I can take on board your feedback. But we're having a very good pre-season so far, especially if we can get this second win here and guarantee going through in this pre-season group, which we might well be able to do. Yes, Kennedy picks up a goal, so both wingers picking up a goal. Phillips picked up an injury there. Hopefully he's not out for any considerable period of time. We do have an email here. Player injured. He's out for 6 weeks with a broken toe. That's frustrating. Iosi Perez is gone. And now we've had a transfer offer for John Joe Shelvey, 17.1. I would like to negotiate this. I would like to negotiate it well into the mid-20s if we possibly can. I'll ask for 26 for John Joe Shelvey. I'm pretty sure they'll reject that. 23.8 though is a long way up. I'm going to accept that straight away. John Joe Shelvey on his way out. Iosi Perez gone. It looks like Eduardo Salvio is also going to be leaving us very soon. We are through in the group stage. Another transfer offer for John Joe Shelvey, this time from Monaco. Let's see if we can get a little bit more out of Monaco. They did have a lot of money. Whether they still have a lot of money, I'm not sure. So they went through that phase, didn't they, when they bought like James Rodriguez. 18.9, no, they're not going to have a lot of money. I'm going to just straight up reject that and hope that John Joe Shelvey goes to Villarreal for 23.8 or 23 point something, whatever it was they offered. I'm not going to be able to get Monaco up as high as the Villarreal bid. Salvio sold. Offer for Kuhn. I will accept that loan bid actually. And Eduardo Salvio is sold to Lazio for £36 million, 29.5 of which has now been added to my transfer budget. So we are looking for a striker. A first team striker. We are looking for a first team right-sided midfielder as well. Of European level quality. The board want me to finish in the top 4. We finished 5th last year, although we were level on points with everyone from 3rd to 7th. Remarkably. And we were going to be bringing in players of that level now. So we're looking at the mid-80s with regards to the rating overall of players that are going to be coming in. Rebic's grabbing 2 in that one. Kennedy also picking up an injury. Please don't tell me you're going to be out for a long while. Let's have a quick look. John Joe Shelvey sold. 2 months. Okay. Well, we're getting some injuries in these pre-season games, which is frustrating. I will create another preset, I think, that has the other midfielders from the youth team and one of the goalkeepers, whichever goalkeeper you guys elect for me to keep. Actually, Burm I'm going to reject. I'd like to keep him at the club. He will play a bit part role in the rotation spots this season. So that's everybody gone, I believe. I have £150 million to spend, and I would like a first team striker, a first team right mid, and someone that's better than John Joe Shelby for centre mid that might well challenge for the first team as well. Now, who those players may be is up to you. And then we do still have the potential of the goalkeeper conundrum. Do I keep Dubravka as my number one goalkeeper, or do I sell Dubravka and replace him as well? At present, with regards to centre mid, striker and right mid, we have about 50 million to spend per player. If we throw in an extra goalkeeper into that mix, that will lessen the amount that we have available to spend in that particular position. But we do have a sizable amount of money available to us now to make the right signing, hopefully. Now, bear in mind, I'm looking for first team players. I'm not looking... Kuna's gone out on loan. £3 million added to the budget there via the progression through in the pre-season tournament. I'm not looking for a youngster that will grow. I'm looking for first team quality players. Right mid, centre mid, striker. But an offer in here for Christopher Wagner, which I shall reject. He's staying at the club. Apologies, Sporting, but he's going nowhere. We will now simulate the game against Napoli and see if we can get an extra little bit more money available in this pre-season tournament. It was 1-0 down immediately through Fabian, who's actually a decent central midfielder, the Spaniard, who I might even consider looking at for that central midfield role to replace the outgoing John Joe Shelby. Insigne scores a second. I think this is going to be as far as we can go. Mertens with a penalty. 3-1, thanks to Rebic pulling one back. 4-1, game over. Napoli just a step too far, it seems, as you might well have expected with the strength of their starting lineup. So Napoli 4, Newcastle 1. We should get some form of prize money from appearing in the final. Apparently, we do not get any sort of prize money from appearing in the final. We'll throw the wingers back in and we'll have a simulate. So we know what money we have available to spend, and we know what players or what positions we would like to improve in. I'll go from July into August, and then I shall hold it there. Transfer for Wagner again. I'm not going to be selling any of my centre-backs at this stage. So let me show you what the squad looks like at present then. So the goalkeeper situation is in your hands. You know of that one. Right back wise, Wan-Bissaka and DeAndre Edlin, I'm happy to keep them both. Left back wise, Philip Max and Ben Chilwell, happy to keep them both. Centre back wise, Lascelles, Reyes, Wagner, Cher, Guerrero. That's 5 centre backs. I might be open to selling Fabian Cher. I would then be playing Wagner and Guerrero or Reyes and Guerrero as my rotation centre backs. I do have the potential of that youngster that was only 5'11", the young Spaniard. He's Brazilian. Felipe Silveira. I do have the option to potentially bring him up and start training him. You can see his physicals are already pretty decent. Similarly to Guerrero, although Guerrero is also quite short. At 5, I believe he's 5'11" as well, actually. Guerrero, he's 5'10". With regards left backs, we mentioned we're okay there. Centre mids, we have Loftus-Cheek and Zakaria as my starting. I am now needing another central midfielder of first team quality, because we have Vega and Mendoza as my backups. They're okay, but they're not good enough for the level that we're now playing at. So I would like a third top quality central midfielder, if you could offer me one via the comments section. Left mid, Kennedy stays. Right mid, at the minute, Toby Mitchell's starting, but I am going to look for a first team right mid via your suggestions. So centre mid and right mid. And then out wide, also we have Burm. So it would be Kennedy and new signing at right mid for the first team. Burm and Toby Mitchell continuing as rotation wingers. And then up top, at the minute, Rebic and Maximilian Philip, although Philip is out for a few more weeks. And then we have Jan Roth that was playing in the rotation centre forward role. with Iose Perez up top, I'm now going to need another first-team striker. So, first-team striker, first-team right mid, first-team level centre mid that would be rotated in and out with Zakaria, Loftus-Cheek, and the youngsters. That's what I'm looking for, and the potential of a new goalkeeper, although I'm not sure. We do have to bear in mind that Dubravka kept the most clean sheets in the entire league last season, so perhaps he's earned his stay of execution. It depends what happens with his stats, although goalkeepers tend not to drop in rating too quickly when they reach their 30s, and so long as Dubravka's stats stay where they are, he might be good enough. We're going to head towards that game against Tottenham now. I don't think we're going to get any other offers. At least I'm not open to selling anyone else at this stage until we find out what you guys want. Scout report's available, so let's have a look and see if we can get any more youngsters in before the end of the episode, and then I believe I'll call it there. I don't want to advance too far in case someone that you guys suggest gets signed by someone else before I have the opportunity to do so. So I will probably not advance much further. Let's have a look at the scout report here from Belgium. 76 to 94, 6 foot centre back. We'll see how he progresses. Well, could play anywhere at the back actually. Don't need a goalkeeper now. 56 to 76, no. 58 to 72, we'll say no there as well. So Nathan Valverde, we shall contemplate. We'll say no there. We shall say no there. 78 to 94, 6'3", potential. We'll say no to that one. 70 to 94, 6'6", but he's valued and currently rated very, very low indeed. Wouldn't be worth the time it would take to improve his rating enough to put him in a position to start regularly or even challenge for a start on a regular basis. So let's quickly train there again. Oh, we have been training Wagner. For some reason my brain told me in yesterday's episode we weren't. Right, that's where we'll call it for today. You guys know what we have to do. We will be playing in tomorrow's episode Tottenham and West Ham, and then Manchester City and Liverpool after that, and then we will be out of the transfer window. We will be out of the transfer window, so it's going to be a shorter first transfer window. So do make sure you get your suggestions in now. Drop the video a like if you enjoy. Subscribe to this channel too to make sure you don't miss out on more. I'll see you next time.